Hello and welcome to Electric Football Week 9. I'm Stu Pace. With me as always,
Steve Brown.
We're here to tell you exactly who to pick this week because what happened to us last week, Steve?
Well, we missed going perfect by the length of Stuart Fleener. We only missed the Steelers game. Actually, I guess we should call it the Raiders game.
Yeah.
So, would we have done that well against the spread? Hell no. I would have lost last night, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'm going to rant real quick just for a second. London is the stupidest damn idea to put a football team. I mean, am I wrong? London?
Bloody hell.
Do Alabama, do Memphis, do Portland. Keep it in America. You're going to be flying teams to London and back? Oh, my goodness. And while I'm ranting, these stupid songs before the Thursday night, the Monday night, and the Sunday night, we're going to have pot, woo, football, and chicks are dancing around. Al and Mike are the best on TV. Who likes this stuff? What marketing genius came up with, let's get some chick in tight pants singing about In My City or whatever that
is? Stop watching the game, they're going to sing again.
And there's a giant Verizon in the middle of it, like we don't know that you're selling the advertising. And the NFL has nonprofit status? They make billions! Are you kidding me? Non-profit. Anyway.
And I'm not paying my taxes.
I'm sorry. Those were my rants. I was feeling it today. So let's go right into the game. Stu, you want to start out?
Sure I do. The Thursday night game is the Bengals and the Dolphins because God wants me to suffer 4 days from the last day I suffered. Bengals. My God, my team is falling apart, and there's more injuries than you can count on Steve's hand.
Oh, gee, the guy in purple feels really bad for your team falling apart. But they are, and the Bengals looked great this week. They curb stomped the Jets. They put the Jets' teeth on the curb, and they just stepped on the back of their head. It wasn't even competitive. The Jets were trying to come up with reasons for why it wasn't competitive. Oh, we had a bad practice on Thursday. You know what you had? You had a bad game on Sunday against a much better team.
Absolutely.
The Bengals are going to lay a smackdown on Miami and probably get they'll probably get a couple flags for cruelty to mammals.
I hate you.
Okay,
Falcons-Panthers. The talks of trading Gonzalez were kind of heating up today, and although it hasn't happened or has not happened or won't happen, kind of gives you the idea that Mike Smith is probably on his way out with the Falcons. I think that they've pretty much run the course with him as coach, and I like the Panthers in this. The Panthers, for a team that's kind of, they're playing pretty inspired ball for the most part.
NFL trades are like my dating life in high school, non-existent. They rarely ever happen.
It's true.
As did my dating in high school rarely ever happened. I said it last week, I believe, in our speed round, that the Panthers really are a kind of scary team right now. They're grounding out wins. They're solid in every aspect. They're not spectacular in any aspect. But give me the Panthers in this one, too.
Agreed.
The Falcons are falling apart. It would almost be a mercy trade to send Tony Gonzalez to a contender right now.
Yeah, and who wants him at this point? You disturb chemistry at this point. He's got to learn the book. Doesn't make sense.
All right, I get the next one.
Yes, you do.
Because it's the Vikings at the Cowboys, the last meaningful game of the Vikings season. We are 0 for America. The only game we won was in London. Thank God we got a stadium through, or we'd be the ones heading over there instead of the Jaguars.
Downton, Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. The London Vikings has a real ring to it. Yes. So does the London Jaguars. I know there are a lot of Jaguars in the tube system in London.
Honest to God.
Stupid idea. Anyway, we're going to kick the snot out of the Cowboys. Des Bryant is too busy fighting with his own teammates on the sideline because he didn't get the ball enough. Oh, there's something about Cowboys wide receivers.
I know.
They do two things really well. They push off and they whine when they don't get the ball. He got outplayed by Megatron, who had the most wide receiving yards in a regulation game.
Right.
Flipper, they call him Flipper. Did it, but it was in overtime.
And he was a Ram.
He was a Ram, but how did Flipper Anderson never play for the Dolphins? How perfect was that?
Because God doesn't want me to be happy. The fact that I'm an atheist doesn't help.
Flipper Anderson would have made you happy? It just would have been a great...
Yeah, because then I could say, they call him Flipper.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's my take on this. The Vikings beat Dallas because I can't stand Dallas.
No, Vikings need a quarterback. I don't even think there's one coming out in college next year, so I don't know what you're going to do for the next 2 years. You certainly don't have a signal caller on your team at this point. My opinion, I don't think I do either. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm taking the Cowboys at home.
All right. Then we go to the Saints at the Jets, and the Saints whip Buffalo on the little bitty elfin arm of Drew Brees. You watch.
Breeze.
There was a play that I watched where he was running and threw a deep ball, and you're going, how does he generate that kind of power? He's just too small to be doing that. But he does it.
Yep.
He's my favorite little smurf in the NFL right now.
What happened to little Wes Welker?
I do love that little Wes
You
Welker.
do.
And I love that little Darren Sproles.
He's a wonderful boy.
Anyway, the Jets played horribly. Everyone is expecting the Saints to whip them. I don't care if they're at home. I think Rob beats Rex this week, and the Saints take this one.
I know the Saints are going to kill them. Will they? I'm going to really go way out on a limb on this one, and I'm taking the Jets at home. For some reason, this is one of those games out of the division, on the road. Pretty good defense on the Jets side. We'll see. I mean, it's a stupid call, but I'm taking it. Jets.
You'll notice I start head bobbing when Stuart does stupid things. It's just a weird reflexive reaction.
Doesn't make sense, but I'm taking them.
Titans at the Rams, and I got to tell you, I never would have said this. I actually wrote this game up before last night, and I'm going to switch it. I was going to take the Titans, even with Kellen Clemens. The Rams really impressed me on defense. They were bringing a lot of pressure. What was it? Quinn and Long were really getting there. They held a great Seattle team down, and other than a couple of Kellen Clemens mistakes, they would have won that game.
Yep, and they were in it to the last play.
By the way, I wish that Golden Tate got run down and just slam. I wish he had fumbled. I wish he had done, like on the when he's waving. I can't stand that stuff. There's more and more of this like nonsense. Remember when Terrell Owens did it, and we went out to the what did he do?
Star.
He went out to the Star, and after the second time he did it, somebody took a run at him. I wish I remembered who took a run at him. Somebody in the comments, please tell me who took a run at Terrell Owens. But I wish somebody had taken a run at him. In the 70s, I'm telling you, Butkus or Mike Curtis,
killed these guys.
guys like that. You think Deacon Jones would have sat there and had somebody wave at him?
Yeah.
Head slap upside your head.
It's entertainment, not football anymore.
So there you go. That was another little rant. I'm ranting today.
I think, the Rams had a pretty good game.
Sorry,
Yeah, because I don't have an opinion
talk.
on this show. I just set up the set and wear a hat.
Oh, look, the key grip wants to
look,
talk.
Steve wants to have a conversation with someone else. If the running back for St. Louis is Stacy, something like that, Zach Stacy.
Zach Stacy.
If he's not injured, I'm taking the Rams. But if he's down, I'm taking the Titans here. That's how close a game I think it is.
Okay. Kansas City at Buffalo. Say it with me. 9-0.
9-0.
Kansas City. It's
That
tough.
wasn't with you.
It's tough to travel to Buffalo, but it's not like they're traveling to Switzerland to play this game, which Paul
Or London.
Yeah, which Goodell probably wants. I was about to say Paul Tagliabue.
Well, the Swiss are so neutral, they'd have a tie.
You know who does? If you're going to move it to Europe, give it to Scotland. They supported that damn NFL Europe more than anybody else did.
The Rhine Fire.
They like head bunking. That's how they instead of shaking hands, they headbutt you. That's a Scottish hello.
Wow,
Anyway,
that would have hurt.
Chiefs eat tenderized buffalo barbecue this week. That's my opinion.
They got to lose sometime, right? It's not this week. Buffalo defensively better than average, but boy, have you seen that Kansas City defense in the fourth quarter with a lead? I think they've given up 3 points this whole season. That's pretty awesome. So if they get the lead, you can't beat this defense right now.
All right. Then we move on to the Chargers at the Redskins. And I'll tell you, Denver turned RG3 into RG Bleed. They were all over him, and he was not escaping like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
There's something clearly wrong with the man. I don't care what anybody says. They also, I don't know why, but they got away from a very effective run game. Mike Shanahan is not impressing me.
Because I have Al Morris. So, let's not get him to 100 yards.
I mean, but why? Teams always move away from the run game too early, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It used to work.
Yep.
It used to be the way you controlled the game. The Chargers, Philip Rivers is having a great season.
Yeah, but it's Philip Rivers.
Yeah, this is a very close game. I'm going with the Chargers just on a gut feeling, really.
It's a better matchup than I would have expected, and I was looking kind of at the rankings of the offense and defense, and each offense against each other's defense, it's pretty even. So it should be a close game based on that. But I think Shanahan is also playing out his last season. I think he's out of a contract this year. I don't think he comes back. I don't know if they'll be the Redskins next year. You know me, loving the politically incorrect name. I hope they stay the Redskins. If we can still call them that, I have them winning here at home.
All right, then. Uh, Eagles at the Raiders. And here's a little electric football golf clap for Terrell Pryor.
Wow.
93 yards, I believe it was, longest run by a QB in the NFL ever. When you think about that, that means guys like Vick, Young,
Cunningham,
Tarkenton, Cunningham, none of them ever did that. Hard to believe, but
Peyton Manning.
very, yes, no, neither of the Manning boys has managed that run either. Dan Marino never did it.
Jim Kelly.
No, there have been a lot of very good running quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever broke one off like that. Cost us our undefeated week last week. And I think I'm really underestimating what he's given to the Raiders this year. I haven't seen a whole lot of Raiders on TV.
No one has.
But he does seem to have rejuvenated the offense a little bit. Speaking of an offense that needs rejuvenation, the Eagles need, stay back clear.
Mm. Yeah.
It feels like they haven't scored since the first half of the first game when they couldn't stop scoring. Barkley at quarterback, because Vick's hamstring is evidently just shot. Foles is trying to come back. I don't know his status right now. It's only Tuesday night.
It's Tuesday and not looking good.
But give me the Raiders at home with a slightly underestimated Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, it's two of the better rushing teams matching up against each other. The problem is after that, it's like a complete mishmash. Neither defense is really worth talking about. I don't know why I'm taking the Raiders here. I just am. I've got a feeling they can build on that. Confidence, wins beget wins. Confidence gives you more confidence the next week. It's a beatable team. You wouldn't have said that week one, but the Eagles are a beatable team.
So when did Seattle become the Legion of Boom? I missed that. To me, there's only one, and that's the Legion of Doom. That was the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. James Laurinaitis' father or uncle, one of those guys from the old WWE wrestling.
Can't even pronounce that.
Yeah, I know. I got that.
Dino De Laurinaitis.
I was pretty happy with myself. Anyway, the Bucs are fighting the Jaguars for the number one pick, whoever that may be, Teddy Bridgewater, Stewie Pace, whoever.
I haven't declared yet.
I honestly thought up until watching them last night that Seattle was sort of the clear Super Bowl pick. They were not that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I still think they are. I've never seen a team quite so schizophrenic, just not traveling traveling straight up poorly.
Always.
But they're going to be at home. They have the 12th man, a lot of excitement, a lot of speed on defense. I don't see a way that the Bucs come out of this. I don't think Schiano makes it past this game, actually.
Now they're saying the bye is gone. It's their 31st ranked offense versus the number 2 defense in the league, and they're playing in Seattle. Really, did you need to tell us this? Seattle.
Look at Stu breaking out stats.
I had time to look up.
God bless you. Well, I'll tell you what, take Ravens-Browns for me, because all I can say is more and more and more.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Browns here, but I'm betting that the fall Colts here take it.
Did you say faux Colts?
Faux Colts.
Faux Colts.
The faux Colts.
That's hard to say. Try that one,
Faux
folks.
Colts. Go faux Colts yourself.
It sounds like a curse on it.
Flacco and Rice are rested, and they've won the last 3 in the series. I don't see it being any different right now. The Browns honestly, they're waiting for the draft here. They'll give you anybody for a draft pick right now.
I'll tell you, the one guy I trade for the Browns is Barkevious Mingo.
Barkevious.
Not because I think he's the best football player out there, but because I think he's like a great galactic evil emperor.
And can you use that in Scrabble now? Barkevious?
I don't know, but
It's got to be a double word sort or something.
Barkevious Mingo.
Mingo.
I love that. So we move on to the Steelers at the Patriots, and clearly the Steelers are packing it in. They lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Vikings in London. They really aren't showing anything. I think we have to stop thinking of some of their players, some of their name players as great. Like, I hate to say it, but right now, injury has depleted Troy Polamalu.
Yep.
He is no longer the playmaker that he once was.
Don't know why he's playing.
It's sad when injuries take a great player and diminish them. And you can really, even an untrained eye like ours can see the difference in the guy. New England wins it. New England wins it.
New England, but they're playing Indianapolis, so I'm going to take the Colts here. I mean, what are we talking about?
We are talking about the Steelers and the Patriots.
Oh, right. I missed a game.
You
Holy
missed
crap.
a game. It happens.
I missed a game.
Where's that teleprompter?
Damn it. These notes are awful.
So what do you think about the Steelers at the Patriots?
Oh, God. Patriots.
All right. There we go. That's the professionalism you're going to see here. Stuart just picked the Steelers to beat the Colts, I think. Anyway, Colts at Texans, and the Texans season has fallen apart. To the
Colts! Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
They have benched Matt Schaub officially. Case Keenum is in. Don't think it's going to make a huge difference for them. I like the balance that the Colts have now, even though Trent Richardson hasn't been as impressive as I thought he would be. I think they can run effectively.
I think they're learning with him right now. They didn't have a back to talk about up to that point, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had Donald Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't they have Ahmad Bradshaw?
Yeah, but he's out for the season, so.
Well, there you go. But they had decent backs. They have the potential for a great back in Richardson. It's not playing out. Maybe the Browns were smart with that trade, but they still got plenty to beat the Texans, even on the road.
Yeah, Casey Kasem, he's bringing his top 10. Right, isn't Casey Kasem on the deathbed? If you have him in a death pool, you're pretty close. Casey Keenum, really? Come on, you're gonna beat the Colts? I mean, the Colts now playing a little better. I still don't think they're going to win the division, or I don't think they're going to win, not the division, the AFC Championship. I don't think they're getting that far. Luck is showing some chinks here and there, but they're going to beat this team. I mean, Texans again, like Pittsburgh, playing out the string. They're not going to be. There's going to be a lot of coaches looking for jobs next year. I'll tell you that.
I do like the move. Matt Schaub has clearly lost the job. I like the move. I don't think it's going to be enough to change this game, but at some point you have to say, all right, next man up.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Let's see if you can do it.
Yep, might as well now, because you're losing. You're not winning anything now.
All right, and then we're going to finish up with the Monday night game. That's Chicago at Green Bay.
What about Pittsburgh and New England?
Don't do that.
What an idiot.
With Cutler, the Bears would have had a shot. There's talk of Cutler coming back quicker from his injuries than expected.
Yeah.
But even with him, I don't think they would have won it. I love what the Packers are doing right now with Eddie Lacy.
Me too.
They destroyed the Vikings. The final score made it look a little closer than it was. It was not competitive. So I honestly think that there are now basically I think the Packers are a legit challenger in the NFC. I wouldn't have said that earlier in the season. I do now. A power running game. If they were, if their receiving core,
they had one more receiver,
and their tight end were still healthy.
Yep.
I know I've been doing a lot on injuries. Did anyone watch the Denver Redskins game? There was an injury every third play. It was unbelievable.
I can't watch Peyton Manning right now. I'm so sick. If you ever turn on the NFL Network or ESPN, it's that big forehead, and all they're talking about is Peyton Manning. Chiefs are 9-0. But it's the big foreheads channel, and so
I got a big
forehead.
You
are. Why not just write Manning on your head?
I got a 5 head.
Look, they're showing movies across the street on his head.
There you go. So who are you taking in the Bears Packers?
It's McCown to Marshall. That's not going to be the same as Cutler to Marshall, and actually Marshall's been pretty awful. Eddie Lacy is playing the best of any running back right now. That guy is hitting. If there's no hole, he's just going to hit a guy until there is a hole. He is playing solid, good old-fashioned, beat you over the head, pound that football. I love the kid right now. They're fun to watch, and we mentioned it before. If Rodgers had one more receiving threat, they'd be really scary. They're not really scary because of that, but I do believe they're admittedly, especially with the Seahawks kind of looking shaky, the Saints. It's the Saints, Packers, or Seahawks probably in the last game there.
Actually, Packers are probably one defensive end, one good pass rushing defensive end away from being a really scary team.
Yeah. As long as they got Aaron Rodgers there, I mean, as long as you got Drew Brees. If you put any other quarterback, not named Drew Brees on New Orleans, I don't know how effective they are. I mean, we saw it last year. It takes everything together working at the same time to be a good team. And when that isn't there, when the coach isn't there, or there's suspensions and things like that, you take a Saints team that was pretty awful last year, and all of a sudden they're exciting and volatile again.
Volatile. There you go. Well, that's week 9 from Electric Football.
Yeah, it's not the 2-minute drill. Done.
We did a little ranting. We welcome you guys to subscribe. We welcome you to put comments on there. We're trying to get to the point where we can get to the comments and sort of go back and forth with y'all. Let us know who your favorite teams are. Let us know if you agree with Stewart's assertion that Eddie Lacy is the best running back going right now, because an Adrian Peterson guy would argue that, or a LaShawn McCoy guy might argue that.
Oh, yeah, you can argue it. I'm just saying I love the way he's playing right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I love a good power backs, but bring the arguments. Tell
us
where we're wrong, folks.
Couple shout-outs to the Fanatics.com. Good bunch of guys there. If you're Dolphin fans, I'm going to throw these names at you. Fanatics.com. You can find them also on Facebook, as well as Fin Nation, the boys at Fin Nation. Very supportive of our little show here. They always check in and tell me how bad we are at this. And also, I want to say goodbye to one of the people I've met in my life that was absolutely extraordinary, and that's Lou Reed. He lived across the street from a Boy Scout camp up here in Blairstown, New Jersey. I was up there with my father. The camp was closed. We were just like kind of babysitting the camp with the ranger. And on a rainy day in the middle of January, up comes this motorcycle. This guy sits down, eats breakfast with us in the mess hall, and I sat there like this for an hour. And my dad, after Lou Reed leaves, goes, you know, what's your problem? I'm like, that was Lou Reed. And my dad didn't know who Lou Reed was, but he was instrumental in changing music, in my opinion, as opposed to some other people that think other artists are. He really brought on the punk scene. He was a real cool fucking dude. Lou Reed, gonna miss you. And the white guys go, see you next week. Electric Football. Bye-bye.